Okay. Hey, it is your guy, Kevin Allen. I can't say your dude or your boy because, like I said all the time, ET would get mad at me, so I'm not going to copycat him, even though I pay the man homage all the time. Of course, ET is one of the best motivational speakers. And talk about motivational speakers. Talk about what we're doing with the Sinners Tour. There's no way you can't come right back to one of our founding members and hard work here, who is you've been brought to me in my life through, I'd say nothing more than, God. So, but I want to welcome you to the show. I know we talked before a couple times, but let's talk a little bit about your story before we get into the Sinners Tour and the importance of what we're doing.
I'm hard work, aka Brother Alonzo, activist, minister from out of Columbia, South Carolina, gospel hip hop artist, and man, just love just being in the community, doing the works of Jesus Christ, man, and spreading the gospel through music, through motivational speaking, through teaching the word of God, whatever it is, got to do to spread it.
So you've been doing this. So, but your story is in a lot of ways you can't just kind of drop it like that and not tell your story because. Yeah. One about what we're doing with the Sinners Tour, and one of the things we think is important right now in this world and in this country, in particularly, is to bring people together. We need a healing and a spiritual healing. Talk a little bit about your past. Tell the audience and a little bit about that, which makes you who you are today. Not to put a highlight reel on it, but it's real. Let's hear about it.
Yeah, it's the testimony, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, my past is, just raised, like I said, in Columbia, South Carolina. In the underserved communities. I became a product of my environment at the age of 12. I started gang banging. At 17, I started selling drugs and caught my first felony at 17 because I was carrying guns and selling drugs. And from 17 to 25, I was just in and out of jail. Ended up catching my second felony at 19 and was just headed down the wrong path, just being a gang leader and just doing everything under the sun except following God. And until at the age of 25, I had a divine encounter with God, in the jail cell. And he was just telling me that if either I was going to serve him, die, end up in prison the rest of my life. And I chose him. And it's been the best thing I did in my whole life. That I can say was the wisest decision I ever made.
That's a pretty amazing story. So you say that decision you made, which was obviously at a time when you weren't really thinking to go clean, right? You probably was at a time in your life where the hustle is the hustle, man. You're going to keep doing it till you end up dead or whatever, right? I mean, that's the mindset, isn't it, out there?
Yeah, man. That was sort of the mindset. But I kind of knew one day, like, man, I ain't trying to do this forever. It got to be more out there for me. You know what I'm saying? Than just this, But just I had an encounter with a man of God one day at a Dollar Tree. So even my journey on the righteous path, it all started over a bag of groceries. Besides the experience in the jail cell, but when it came to me connecting with people of God. The first person I connected with happened in the Dollar Tree, and that's when I first joined the church and started reading the Word and started hearing the Word of God, and that's when the transformation came forth as far as the change in my life.
It's kind of important though too because you're not like a one-trick pony, and what I mean by that is you kind of have this unique background. That has given you a lot of credibility on the street. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And so that background also gives you some baggage in your history, some of your history, right? So sometimes when felons, right, and then we're going to talk tonight after your interview with me. I'm talking to one of my brothers there from Columbia, South Carolina, Scott, who I met, and we're going to talk about his journey from the streets to prison back home. How long were you incarcerated, brother?
By the grace of God, I never had to go to prison. Been to jail 20 times though, in and out. 100 days here, 90 days here, and 30 days here, 21 days here. But by the grace of God, never had to go to prison because when that experience happened in that jail cell, it was like the last peak. Like, keep playing with me, you're gonna end up going to prison for the rest of your life because I was just out there. His grace kept me.
Yeah.
And I was out there doing the most, but he had let me know, like, just like in with anybody, you can live that life of crime, but there come a time where it's gonna expire.
Live that life of crime, but it come a time when it's going to expire. We should get those shirts made. Actually, that sounds like a very good tag. I've got connected with you through our guy Little Bo with
Mhm.
the Put Up Shut Up reality show, but good friend of mine and a friend of yours. Um,
Yeah.
do you see something right now in the OGs of yesteryear that worked, was hustling? Now they're out giving back to a community. Is it kind of trippy to go from what you were like? Laying up with 100 heads around you, protecting you at every time when you moved. And just so everyone knows, where can people find you on that? Was it a Netflix series or something you on or show?
Yeah, on Tubi or Netflix is it's called American Gang Wars. It's based on South Carolina during the gang era when it first started and it was strong. I had a friend of mine who was once affiliated with a gang, and when he left the streets, when his mom died,
Mm-hmm.
he left the streets and he went to New York to Spike Lee Film School. And so when he graduated, he came back and started filming documentaries and movies, and he had started a film school in South Carolina. So he came out with the documentary, and the documentary was it did pretty good. He had somebody purchase. I think somebody from the A&E channel purchased the documentary.
Incredible. And so you had some experience there, and then of course, how do you transition from that mentality of the street survivor to ministry work? I mean, that's what you're doing now, and that's an interesting,
Yeah.
sort of because even probably people in your community, people you worked with in your industry, call it an industry, it is, or people in the law enforcement, they didn't really trust or believe you in the beginning, did they?
Nah, because sometimes people always gonna remember to owe you. I was talking to the guys today because I do prison ministry, and I was telling them about familiarity. Like, when people is familiar with you being a certain type of person, they don't expect change until they really see it, you know.
Well, that's I guess it's just be you, and your behavior is going to prove what it is, and you've been doing that. So you're not only an entrepreneur, with multiple businesses. You and your wife have started ministry work. You go into prisons like you were today, and you're doing ministry work. You also are a performer. You're on the you're moving fast here, and the gospel music world
Mhm.
really comes with a lot of interesting people. And like, tell me a little bit about who these people are on this flyer.
So, so we have the Christian Lounge in Columbia, excuse me, Christian Lounge in Columbia, South Carolina, and it's a platform for gospel artists. No matter what your gift is, if it's singing, dancing, miming, whatever it is for the kingdom of God, it's a platform that will allow people to come in and share that gift. They don't and it already have a crowd that's there. Excuse me. So when they come, they already got an audience. So we have people come from all over. So even the people on this flyer is coming from North Carolina, Georgia, and South Carolina. A lot of these guys I have built relationships with throughout the year, loyal, powerful, anointing. Even when it comes to ministering the music, when they get on that stage, they let God take over, and they're very powerful. Even with even with the females that's on the tour, they great what they do. They walk in authority, everybody, and they believe in what they stand. So, um, powerful people, man, and these people that out of everybody that have been to the lounge or the tours that we have done, these are people that was handpicked by God through prayer. Like these are the right people
Hmm.
to take on the road with you because they sincere about what they do.
So a lot of people right now are getting into a more Christian rap industry. I think I don't know if it's fair to say rap either. I think it's fair to say it's expression, and you have a lot of different expressions. And I think what we're hearing across the country is a real challenge for some people to accept. But there's a revival of sorts going on, and there's certainly something that's motivated by the political climate that's bringing these forces together. What's your thoughts on how, because we're trying to bring people together? The Sinners Tour is all about it. How do you think that's going to play out? Because no one's tried to do that yet. This is the first of its kind.
I believe it's gonna play out good because like even with the rap from the singing to the dancing, it's gonna play out good because and then we're gonna have something for everybody. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, a person can come and they might not be familiar with this gift, but this gift they probably love it. You know what I mean? So it's good that the Sentence Tour is gonna have something for everyone to enjoy instead of this one genre of music. Or when it comes to the gift, it's gonna be something for everybody. And
It
everybody
will, and
coming together. It don't matter what's your political party,
yep,
but we all come on one accord
yep,
as followers of Jesus.
yep. And that is sort of the entire vision here, and for truly focus in on it is to bring people together of different disciplines and different backgrounds and economic and educational as well, and kind of get together and just really get on the spirit of what's going on in this country. So, Wanda, you've been through the system of the prison system in a jail at least. You know that you're going in there now, and you're really motivated to help people. What is some of the things that we're missing in society that you think could be positive changes to help encourage? Well, I guess incarcerated inmates that get out to stay out and really avoid other people going back.
Man, it's crazy talking about that because the program that I'm incorporating in the prisons right now is called New Beginning, and it's just preparing the guy's mind and loving on them and just pouring into them through experience as someone who can relate, from their background, things they've been through, and just being an example of hope that if God did it through me, he can do it through you. He have no respect of a man. And I always tell Mr. Sam that you gotta tap in and I always I tell him about the spiritual side of things because we look at things from the natural, but it's all spiritual. So once you tap in on the spiritual realm, and that's what we're missing out when it comes to things in this world.
Mm-hmm.
They put a lot of the natural stuff that pleases the flesh in our face, but they don't really commercialize the spiritual stuff. So when you put a lot of the things that please the flesh in people's face, they only focus on pleasing the flesh, and that can be greed, lust, money, drugs. So at the end of the day, a lot of those things, like the Bible says, there's a way that seems right to a man, but at the end is death. So a lot of these things that the media or the world is pushing in our face is really not helping the people because it's only pleasing the flesh, not the spirit. So a lot of times guys don't really get that chance to really tap into the spiritual realm. I don't care if they become Christian, Muslim, Islam, or whatever. They don't really get to tap into that until they go to prison because that's where it's really you see it a lot there, and you're in that place where you really don't get to see too much of the stuff that's going on in the world. That
What do
makes
you what do you think is one of the biggest parts of hopelessness in communities that you identify with? The communities the hopelessness of communities.
Man, the lack of resources, um, and just loving on the people with no hidden agendas. Like even from being involved with politics or faith-based, um, a lot of people have lost trust in politics and the church. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people look at it like, what is your motives? We only see you around a certain time of the year. We only see you in the community. Like in my city, Columbia, we know when it's election time because we start seeing these candidates just pop up out the blue. But throughout the year, when there's no campaign season, they're not in the community. But when they want the community vote, oh, they boots on the ground. All I'm gonna do is making promises. You know what I mean? But here, people really tired of it. They like, yo, y'all been doing this for
Do you
years.
think that's going on around the world? Do you think a lot of people are just fed up with the politics of things?
Yeah. Even when it comes to some stuff. That's why I said with politics to religion. Like a lot of people just feel like they've been let down with a lot of stuff. But even when it comes to building a relationship, like it's a saying that one of my mentors say, like, we willing to talk with people for 20 minutes while we willing to walk with them for 20 years. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like we'll go out in these communities and we talking with the people for 20 minutes about this and that. But then when we go about our business, we don't stay in contact with these people and check on them, see how they doing, see how they are mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We just really coming out there with only for the agenda. And I'm saying we because we all are a part of the boat. I mean, all a part of this ship. We all on the ship together. So that's why people like us have to lead as example to show the people that we're not only out here to get something from you or receive something, but we're here to give something too.
I think that's the biggest part is to give back. And I know your heart. I've gotten to know you, over the time here, and looking forward to be down in Georgia with you. And just getting ready to do this event on October 28th. Of course, we're talking about the Saving Sinners Tour event. It's going to be an amazing event, and of course, they're going to have all these performers plus more. And on the line right here, we have Diana Starr from Kentucky. She's going to give us an update here. Diana Starr from Kentucky, our sister in charge of the broadcasting. There's Alonzo. He's saying hi. Diana, what's going on?
Hey, Diana.
Not much going on. We had a press release today, as everybody knows, and that was like fantabulous. I spoke to the mayor today. He himself had to decline. He had an event, but he did give me some church names that he was positive that would want to get involved.
Diana, can you talk up just a little bit, love?
Oh gosh, yes.
You're going to have to use that voice you use when you sing, please. Come on.
Do I sing? I didn't know. It's my phone. It's going to be my phone, Kevin. I know it's going to give us trouble. Let's see.
So no worries. But so you had a big meeting and you were able to get almost a cross endorsement of the project today with Veterans for America's First. You're working on something with them?
No, I was working on this. Did you hear me say that about the mayor?
Yes, I did. About the mayor down in Georgia. Talk about it, sister.
Okay. So I left a message with him a couple times. I thought, oh, he's not going to get back because you know how it is being a mayor and all, even if little Logansville. But the guy was wonderful. His name was Skip. He talked to me today and he gave me some churches that he feels sure would be positively wanting to get involved in Logansville. So that was a great lead for me. Can you still hear me? I'm in the car. That's why.
Yeah, we can hear you. But what's that mean for that's going to be more traffic in that community, which is awesome. And we have Alonzo on here. And Alonzo, I want you to listen because Diana is ready to get on the stage. Diana, take it away with one of your raps. Drop it down. Drop it like it's hot.
You know, man, I can't do rap. You know, man, I'm not like that. You know, man, I'm way old. So I'm not trying to sell you tickets because I don't know. I can't do that. Why are you doing that to me in front of Alonzo? Alonzo, I apologize.
You just dropping some bars just now. You was rhyming.
Oh, she can rhyme.
I was
She could
trying
rhyme, and she was rhyming the other night.
a little bit,
Actually, interesting is Alonzo, Diana, if you can, tell Alonzo when you introduced the lyrics and the music to the older ladies and you were reading it, tell Alonzo the reaction.
Okay, so I am with a bunch of ladies that are very patriotic, but they're just kind of close-minded, not racist, not biased, not nothing, patriots to the core. Never heard of any of these people, right? So I said, how am I going to introduce this? I'm going to have to go a backdoor here. So I had listened to the songs because of my son, and I was like, whoa, these are brave young men out there to tell the truth, taking all the heat for the truth. And I'm like, I know what I need to do. So I went to my group. What I did was copy all the lyrics just as if there was a poem they were reading. So I printed them all out and handed them out. And then I got up in front of them, and I always have people on Zoom. I got people from across the state, and I read them the lyrics, and they were blown away. They're like, where did this come from? And then I introduced what's happening with the tour, and I could see the changes occurring right on their faces. They're like, who are these people? I said, well, they can come to Kentucky, I'll tell you that. And I proceeded to just give them a little carrot, to let them know. But they were so impressed with the ability to conceive of your patriotism and your Christianity, and they just couldn't believe it. They're sheltered, man. I can't tell you anything else. They were just sheltered.
No, you know what? That doesn't matter because we're bringing people together, and that's what this is about. And of course, the Saving Sinners tour right here, Faith Over Fear Revival, Saturday, October 28th, right down in Logan'sville, Georgia, not too far from Atlanta. Alonzo, when you hear about this kind of crossover, this is sort of the miracle in its own form. We're introducing people across this country. Now Diana. That's your people now, and it's pretty amazing. That's the energy we're getting from this tour, right?
Yes. Oh yeah. Bringing everyone together on one accord.
Absolutely.
And Diana's got some interesting other information that she'll be bringing to the table, introducing new opportunities. And one of the key things to the opportunities are that we're not just going to do the big 24 like we're planning events, which are going to be 5,000 plus arena type events we're looking at. We want to do the smaller events too, Alonzo, right? We want to bring in some of your guys, some of the other folks, go to communities. So if somebody has a community event out there and they want to hire us to bring in this motivational speaking and motivational music form, Alonzo, where would they reach out to talk to you directly?
They can contact me at my personal number at 803-888-0508, or they can email me at hardworkministry@gmail.com. Either one of those on Facebook, any social media site, Hard Work Ministry.
Awesome sauce. And Diana, what about you? Where can people find you on the worldwide web?
On the web, they can find me under my Facebook, Diana Being Star. And then also, we just put up a RWFF of Kentucky. That's RWF Forum, KY.org. And they can reach out there and it will say get in touch with us. My number is 502-432-7425. And I want to say, interestingly enough, I'm on the roads, guys, so I hopped in because I saw Kevin. I grew up in the West End, Alonzo. It's called Portland, and that's in Louisville, Kentucky. It's a bad city. And ran the streets back then. Didn't matter. Nobody cared what color you were. I grew up in Crop Alley. It's called Crop Alley, Kevin. And it's just a little hole in the wall street. And I told him last night that people look at me a little differently too. They just assume that I don't have a story, that I've been delivered from or where I came from. But there wasn't back in my day. Back in the day, there wasn't. We had no problems. If you go into the West End of Portland today, it's totally horrible. I mean, it's scary. People jacking cars, doing everything else. And that's the kind of thing we want to crush with a sledgehammer. We want to crush that ideology again and bring it back to where we're all together. So if one attacks one, that you got your brother right behind you. So if somebody attacks me, I got you. If somebody attacks you, I can't do much, but I'll try. So that's the kind of thing that this excitement.
Now, Alonzo, would we call this an OG back in the day? I mean, this lady's ready to go out and start slicing people right here. That's what I'm hearing from her.
Hey, she's right though. God done made us demon slayers, and that's what we dealing with.
And maybe she was the inspiration to 50 Cent's with that show we put together, maybe with the Power Woman, right? It might have been her.
Might have been me, man. You don't know.
Might have been you. Thank you, Diana. Thank you so much. Keep motivating. We'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. The Sinners Tour is coming, and it's coming to a neighborhood near you, starting right down in Georgia. I hope you guys are excited about this event, Saving Sinners Tour. Faith Over Fear Revival. It's Saturday, October 28th, of course, down in Loganville, Georgia. Here's all the information, QR code. Tap on it and get on it and get yourself a ticket today. Alonzo, thank you, my brother, for coming on, man. We're going to keep doing this and get some of the other performers for next week to come on so we can start cycling them people through. I want to help them drop their stuff, connect with everybody, and get really excited about the 28th, the big event. Diana, thank you so much to you as well. Everyone, we'll check you out later. We're going to be doing another interview with my guy Scott, 14 years down in the Fed prison, coming to talk about his story, actually from Fed prison, the bottom bunk, all the way to Congress, testifying just recently. Scott from Columbia, South Carolina, will be on at 8 o'clock tonight on that show. See you guys.